You guys have been working on your portfolio paragraphs quite a bit and they're looking really good. But what I'm noticing that we need to spend a little more time on are transition words and phrases. So our learning target today is I can use transition words or phrases to connect my paragraphs. So let me read it one more time really slowly. I want you to think about the words you know in here and words that you're confused about. So I can use transition words or phrases to connect my paragraphs. And now I'd like you to pair up with somebody and talk about what you think the learning target means.
Or like also between it, like also or then like we have used transition words
and then go and also it separates ideas.
I'd love to know what you know about this target and what you're wondering about. And Seraphina, you had your hand up before we even shared. Can you tell me what you know?
I knew what phrases were before, but then I kind of forgot.
Okay. So there's a question about the word phrases when we think about our learning target. Ariana.
I know a lot about transition words. Well, if you have two different ideas, it's kind of hard to like just jump to two of them without them being like, it just sounds
Together?
weird. Yeah, you have to make them like combine together. So you can say like, I'm also good at, or something like that.
Okay, other thoughts about that?
Well, I know what transition words are because I use them a lot on Google Docs. They're like passing it on to another person, but like with a paragraph.
I'd love to hear from a couple other kids before we move on. Jack?
I want to answer Seraphina's question. I know what a phrase is.
Okay, great.
It's like if you put like a couple of words together, it makes just like, yeah, kind of like a short thing that you can say, kind of.
Okay, so it's a couple of words together.
Yeah.
And that's really important
I like that.
because I know that with 5th graders and 4th graders, you guys like to be pretty exact. And if I say words and the transition is more than one word, you'll be like, So that's why we say phrases also. Who has an example of a phrase that's a transition? Anyone have that? Ileana?
Well, when me and Francesca were talking, we used an example on Keenan's work right there. So at the end of the first paragraph, I just read the last line, but my group chose to do it a different way, and then it just kind of jumped to, I have a positive presupposition about the members of my group, but like if you used a transition phrase, then it could be like, I also thought that I had a positive presupposition.
Okay, so you're saying the word also. That's good, and that's an example of a word, and what I want to do is also figure out other phrases. Okay, so did it feel kind of sudden to go from this paragraph to that one?
Yeah, because it's like a whole different paragraph.
Was your mind ready to know that there's going to be a change in anything?
No.
No, and so that's what the transition does. It gets your mind, it gets the reader's mind ready to know that we're changing the subject a little bit. It's still related because it's still about exhibition night, but it's a little bit different, and so that's why we need to smooth it into a transition. So we're going to do a quick check-in to see how we're doing on understanding transition words and phrases. So I want to do a fist of 5. 5 if you feel like you really understand what a transition word is and a phrase. 4 if you're just kind of beginning. Maybe a 3 if you could use a list to work with so you know what we're talking about. And a fist for a 1 if you need to meet with me to talk more about it.